What's up?
Okay, here we are. Monhun Training Day 2. Yeah. I'll now
I hope my
run
music
around the
isn't too
room.
hype for this.
What?
I hope my music isn't too hype for this.
Uh-oh. It probably is.
Put on the action playlist this time. Yay.
Yay. Burned husk. My new favorite item. I have sponge. Put all this shit away. Okay. Alright. Boom.
I'm still tired from 2 days ago.
Oh
It's
god.
great. That's what happens when you're not allowed to actually sleep.
Yeah. Let's see how that could be a problem.
Tonight will be great, because I don't have to wake up. I will never wake up again.
What do you mean Frieden Wednesday?
It's called frieren. Close
Yeah.
enough.
Yeah. But it comes out on Fridays, though. Unless you're watching the dub, maybe? I don't know. I don't know what day that one comes out. I don't know why I'm dying. Probably because the seasons are changing here and my body is like, let's absorb everything and die. Allergies.
I forgot that I have to disable streamer mode in order to screen share Discord. This is really annoying.
Damn.
But here we are. Is that the correct one or is it this one? They look the same. No, this one looks worse. Does it? No, that one is better. Okay. Cool.
Ooh.
Yeah. So you wanna like start? Do something?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Have you studied? Have you practiced?
I mean, a little bit. I was practicing Valor before. Remember?
Yeah, that was a while ago though, wasn't it?
That was like 2 days ago.
It wasn't practice. We're just playing the video game. It's a different thing.
I can't just play the game to practice.
No.
Oh, all right. Well, I guess no.
Just doing something isn't practice. Only if you do something correctly, it becomes practice.
That's
right?
fair, I guess.
Like, you know, there's people who have been cooking for like 20 years and they're still dog shit at it. That's because they didn't practice it a single day in their lives.
Yeah, they just do it over and over.
Yeah. And if you do some things in a certain way that is efficient at learning, right? And you're doing it for the purpose of improving, and you're practicing.
Mm-hmm.
And if you do that, you get good at things.
Yeah.
It's also why some of my students just kind of stagnate on one level.
Yeah.
Because they're not practicing. Like, they're studying but not practicing. So you can study like vocabulary for the sake of just getting it over with, or you can do it for the sake of actually learning.
Yeah.
And you can do it in an efficient and inefficient way. Anyway, it's an entirely different topic and related to what's happening. Now, today, we have what have we talked about? Talked about all of this. We have talked about hunter arts, have we not? We have, right?
Yeah.
There's not that much to say about hunter arts.
Right.
So essentially just know that they're there and that you want to select one that fits your playstyle. And that's kind of it.
Mm-hmm.
Then you could go deep into hunter arts, but there's not really a point because most of them are like single-use kind of things and they don't really like interact with your weapon too much, right? So there's sort of like combos you need to learn or anything for most of them. There's little things here and there, but this is really not the big of a deal. Anyway, advanced weapon mechanics. We've covered this. We've covered every single ounce of the longsword.
Yep.
And the sword and shield.
Yep.
We've covered armor with the elemental resistance and how you can get immune to blights, if you remember that part.
Yeah.
Have we covered skills? I think we have, right? Yeah, we have.
I think so.
Talked
yeah.
about skills. How you acquire skills. We made you acquire a skill and use your charms and talismans. I'm not sure what they're called in this game.
Yeah,
keep changing
they're
the name for those.
talismans, I think.
Yeah, whichever it is. You're using that, and that's great. And if you ever make a new armor, you wanna not only pay attention to the armor level, but also the skills. More importantly, actually, the skills. So a lot of the time, you're gonna sacrifice armor for better skills. That's what you're doing with this armor. This armor isn't known for having great armor values. It just has really good skills, especially in higher ranks.
Yeah.
But yeah. You wanna pay attention to skills. And if you don't know what a skill does, you can look it up, or you can have somebody in chat tell you what it is. But yeah, we'll get to that when it happens, when you need a new armor, which
Hello,
would probably happen
Soulkeeper.
soonish. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Thing is, you're in high rank, right? You're kind of climbing your way out of early game high rank, let's
Yeah.
call it. And monsters are gonna start one-shotting you if you don't get a new armor.
Okay.
So you're making the game harder by not making a new armor. So
Right.
eventually you want to make a new armor.
Yeah.
Whenever you feel like it's getting difficult. That's your own call to make there. A lot
Yeah.
of people just kind of do the armor they like, right? And that's perfectly viable. You don't need armor to beat the game. So
Right.
just take whatever you fucking want, right? But
I mean,
they,
yeah, I mean, I
they
feel
do
like
just
I've...
select between skills because skills make the game more fun, right?
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, I feel like I've been okay so far, but I know what I've been doing, for the most part, is a lot of, like, repeated monsters. I know they're, like, probably a little more difficult, but I haven't gotten into a whole lot of, you know, new things yet.
Yes, no. But thing is, the monsters you're fighting are still different from the monsters you fought before.
Right,
Not
yeah,
only in like
yeah.
damage, HP, but also speed and also sometimes movesets. So movesets change in
Well,
like
yeah.
high rank and D rank.
That's, I mean, that,
And
yeah,
that's
that
pretty
is what I
cool.
noticed, is, like, they have different moves, or they, you know,
Yeah,
do
that
some
kind of
different
stuff.
stuff.
So you still have to kind of adjust to the changes, right? So
Yeah.
it's not like easy just because you fought the monster before. But yeah, have we talked about food effects? I don't think we have.
No, not really, we didn't yet.
Food effects are basic in this game, super basic. Go to the cook and talk to
Yeah.
them. Her? It? I'm not sure.
The Cato.
Still sure that's a guy.
The proprietress.
Is Lexia hitting again?
Maybe.
Cool.
Well, if you ain't the cat's meow, darling.
Okay. You're not supposed to read the dialogue.
Oh, alright, I
Jesus Christ.
won't read the dialogue, sorry. I'll just, you know. Got a bistro ticket.
Wow.
Wow.
Okay, you can combine two things to make a thing, essentially, right?
Yeah.
It's fairly straightforward. And I think you can even see what it does if you just want to select one or two.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it literally just tells you what it does.
Okay.
Try combining that with anything.
Anything. I don't think I can.
Well, then take a different one that might combine.
Hey, guess what? What demon tears? What? It doesn't want me to do anything. What?
There's compatibility, so you need something that is actually compatible with another thing. If you don't have one, you don't have one.
Wow. Yeah, I don't
Great.
think I got
is
anything.
Is that the only page you have? The second page?
Yeah, it looks like it.
Yeah, that is game design. So ordinarily you would be able to choose two, but here you can't. So just choose one for now. Choose one.
Choose one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So on the left you can see that when you eat, you increase your stamina and health, which is super important. Stamina not that much because you can increase it yourself. Health is a little harder to increase. So the health increase is really good. Also what it gives is like attack up, defense up, and all that kind of good shit. And then there's active skill down there, and there are, I don't know if they're called feline skills or whatever, but there are skills, a certain specific set of skills you can get from eating. And those are very different from everything else. Most of the time, not always. Sometimes they're the same that you can also get from armor skills, but most of the time they're very unique, and most of the time they're dog shit, but some of them are really good.
I can like look at them on here, can't I? Oh, I've already eaten.
Oh yeah, that's my mistake. If you talk to the person, you make a new meals. This one is where you can actually eat the meal.
Yeah, except
Eat
I
the
already
thing.
ate.
Well, don't eat anything, but
I already did.
you're- when did you do that?
I don't know. I think I
You
was.
didn't shut down your Switch, did you?
I think it was because I was thinking about doing another one before I got off, and then I didn't.
Which means you didn't shut off your Switch.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, just gonna leave that there. Okay, but yeah, essentially when you actually I can boot up my own game. Give me a second.
What Pokemon trailer, Happy Bot? What? I have not seen it. What are you talking about?
Your Legends game. I don't think there was a trailer for that. Unless there is now one, which I don't know of, but I'm not interested, so I don't know. It's a Legends game, so I'm immediately out.
Z. What does that mean? I don't even know.
Legends is like Legends Arceus. So it's this
Oh,
open
okay.
world kind of thing with
Yeah.
terrible graphics and shit gameplay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be great.
If we could get an actual good Pokemon game, that would be great, but I don't have much faith in
Yeah.
Game Freak anymore.
Don't get your hopes up. Yeah, my game's launching. Took me a while to fucking find it. Well, actually, my emulator is launching. My game isn't even launching. No, I don't want to update when I'm using the software, you piece of shit. This one. Yeah, this will take a short while to just boot. Oh, there it
Mega
is.
Evolution.
Let me screen share this to you.
Okay.
I hope that works, and I hope that I'm not screen sharing my own thing in my own thing now. I am. That's stupid. Don't screen share something else. That's retarded. Why would I screen share my own thing? Okay, here we go. I haven't eaten yet because my game hasn't been running for like, I don't know, 48 hours.
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't know if I don't think I have eaten yet. Yeah, I have not. Okay, so very simple. You can combine shit here to make new meals, which is going to become less and less important the more you do it. And then you can see here what you can get. So this one gives you 10 HP and your cat gets 4 HP. And this one
Yeah.
gives 50 stamina. 50 stamina sounds good, but it isn't really. Now, there's also this little thing at the right, this little chef head that says on the bottom left, or like the middle of the screen, brother. The chef is fired up, skill activation chance up. And the skills they're talking about is this here. These skills that you can see in the middle of my screen right now.
Yeah.
Now, again, those are in this game based on your source. It is different everywhere. So on, but those don't matter. It doesn't matter what you choose here for the source, right? So you can choose something that is good for you here, like health.
Yeah.
Health 10 is kind of shit, but you know what I mean? Like if this was like health 30, I'd prefer it over stamina 50, right? So assuming this was good, you would choose this, and then you would choose a source based on everything else, because it's unrelated from the meal you actually
Yeah.
chose, which is not the case in any other Monster Hunter game. So it's different everywhere, but it doesn't really matter. You get used to that fairly quickly. And I don't know how you unlock any of that shit, but you kind of just do. Cool.
Yeah, I mean, I have a bunch of stuff, and like the one that I have, like it's some kind of rice or something, but I get 50 health, 50 stamina, so like I usually just use
Yeah.
that. Is there any point in using something with less? Because
Yeah.
yeah,
So one thing's obviously health and stamina. But the other thing is like attack and defense.
right.
Mostly attack. So what I usually get is I get a lot of HP, very little stamina, and then attack up.
Okay.
And that's like the ideal thing I can eat on my main account.
Right.
Not that there isn't anything better, it's just the best that I have. But yeah, you want to just kind of base it on that. Attack is really good if you're getting hit a lot, then defense is also really good. So if you're playing no feint like me, then defense is also good.
Yeah.
So from these, you can literally read what they do. That too is not in every game. So, yeah, just choose something that you think is cool. Like Feline Rider is pretty good because it makes it easier to
Yeah,
mount.
I've used that one before.
Game Changer is kind of dog shit. Foodie is okay. Like if you die, I guess it's okay.
Yeah.
Polisher is always kind of okay. Escape Artist is actually kind of good, considering how dog shit most of these are. Bulldozer is pretty bad. Riser is okay, especially if it's just low. So LO means low. I don't know why they didn't put the W there, but yeah. There's also high, which is HI. And there's differences between those. So like Feline Riser low gives you like a couple more iframes when you like get up, right? When you get hit and you get up, you get a couple more iframes. If it's on high, you get a lot more iframes, right? So there's a big difference if it's high or low. I don't think there's a mid. There's only high or low, if I recall correctly. Feline Fighter is dog shit. Strong Cat is dog shit.
You're feeling nice
Black
today.
Belt
I
is
see that.
pretty... Well, Black Belt is okay, actually. Black Belt can be really good, depending on your weapon, but for Longsword it's kinda meh.
Yeah.
Because you don't use your stamina with Longsword, right? And if you do, then it's a consistent stamina drain, and not like a fixed depletion. Oh, why do I have sound on? Ugh. Okay. Let me switch back to yours. Right. So much about food effects. Fairly straightforward. It is different per game. We'll get into that when you play a different game.
Yeah.
We have talked about the farm. You better not fucking forget to use your farm.
Oh no.
Let's talk about hunter tools. Now that's a really fun topic. Where can we talk
Hunter
about hunter tools
tools.
the best? Go to the shopping lady, the girl who sells things.
Yeah.
Well, first, actually, before you look at what she has, tell me what tools you have as a hunter. Anything you can use in a quest, period.
Like bomb barrels.
Barrel bombs, but yeah.
Yeah. Same thing. You know.
Yeah, that's one. What else do we get?
The trap stuff,
Hmm.
and then I know when you like we were talking about like with Sword and Shield, you have the stuff that you put on
The
your
oils.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think if there's anything else I can think of. Like those things that boost your attack and stuff, like that you carry with you.
Yeah, buffing items, yeah.
Yeah. And then like Psycho Serum and stuff.
It's already a lot.
Yeah.
There's some that you have used that you haven't mentioned yet. That you're probably just not thinking of, like things like cold drink and hot drink.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I
Right.
guess if that counts.
We talked about nullberries.
Uh-huh.
Anything you can use in a quest. So this obviously counts. Now there's like simple items like healing and stamina. That's not. We don't need to talk about that. Those are not tools. Those are just items.
Yeah.
We're talking more about tools, right? So the stuff that you wouldn't carry to every quest, but let's say a quest gets difficult, you might want to use those, right? Yeah, let's see what the girl has. Look at that. We forgot antidote. But yeah, that again is not really a tool,
Cleanser.
it's more of an item. Cleanser is more of an item as well. Whetstones are pretty much a tool, but it doesn't really matter. These are too natural. Not talking about those. Those are uninteresting.
Deodorant.
Yeah, again, just an item. Don't really care. Now this is the interesting page. So we have 3 different types of bombs, right?
Yeah.
And we have 2 different levels for every single one of those bombs. So we have small barrel bombs, large barrel bombs, bounce bombs, and then we have the plus version of all of those. You can't buy those. You have to craft them.
Okay.
So there's a thing called a mega barrel bomb, and it's just better than a barrel bomb. And we have a small barrel. We have a barrel bomb plus, barrel bomb S plus, which is better than the regular. It doesn't fucking matter. You never want to hit a monster with a barrel bomb, with a small one. And bounce bombs also have a plus version. Doesn't matter. You're never gonna use this. Bounce bombs are dog shit. So the original point of bounce bombs was to hit monsters that are flying. There's not really point in doing that. Because you can't just fight the monster. Like, you can still hit it. And if you can't hit it, you flash it and it falls out of the sky.
Right.
So, yeah. Bounce bombs are pretty bad. There was one niche case in which there were monsters that would, like, sleep, like, on the ceiling, right? So you had to bounce bomb them off. Pretty cool, but, like, in more modern games, you don't even have to do that anymore, because they notice it's kind of dog shit. Like, if you don't have a bounce bomb, then you just wait there for, like, 2 minutes for the monster to wake up. It's really bad.
I think they gave some to me for that one quest where you fight the, like, Keizu, and,
yeah,
they, like, climb on the ceiling and shit.
Yeah. It's entirely unnecessary, so I would
Right.
never spend any amount of resource on them. I would not even bring them to my quest, because anything I can do that isn't using a barrel bomb is usually better.
Right.
You can't train a human cap. Hello, Happybot. Why do you dig in my chat? Nice to have you here.
Happybot said, Monster Hunter is just Pokemon, but instead of catching them, you fight them, and it's usually legendary Pokemon. I don't think that's true at all. I don't think that's how that works.
It's like Pokemon, just that it's not like Pokemon at all.
Yeah. So, like, a question then, and then, because I haven't, like, pretty much ever used these, which I should try.
That's why we're doing this.
Yeah. This one says it has to be by a physical impact, so, like, do you hit it?
You can hit it, yeah.
Does that hurt you, though?
Absolutely.
But is it worth it, then?
It doesn't deal the same damage to you. If it did, you were literally one-shot. Because the damage to monsters, I think, is like 150-ish. And the max health you can have with every health increasing item and effect in the game is 150.
Okay.
So, yeah. I need a mic like Orion. I'm not a mic. Okay. Yeah, barrel bomb. So the idea originally was you place a big barrel bomb, then you place a small barrel bomb, but the small one detonates the big one.
That
Right?
makes sense.
So the small one is like a small time bomb. It literally says a small time bomb.
Right.
Okay, cool. Yeah. That was the original idea. Does anybody do that? Not really.
Okay.
Because there's better ways of detonating things today. So, there's a mechanic in this game. Yes, I understand you. It's fine. I'm not a pet alligator. What are you talking about? Anyway,
He's free.
So there's a mechanic in this game. If you hit a monster while it's sleeping, it takes double damage, right?
Yeah.
But it's only for the first hit. So let's say you have like dual blades and you do like a quick 1-2. Only the first one is double damage. And obviously, the more damage your hit does, the more you profit from that effect. So things like a greatsword charge deal like essentially the most damage you can do, right? So if your greatsword does like 500 damage on a full charge, it does 1,000 damage instead. That's a shit ton of damage, right? Now, how do you abuse this? Well, barrel bombs have the same effect, right? So they deal like 150, 250, I don't know the exact number anymore. And you double that by just having the large barrel bomb explode into a sleeping monster's face. Now the problem with that is it only registers the first hit, right? So if you barrel bomb S, then the small barrel bomb will do the double damage and not the big one. And that sucks.
Yeah.
So what you can do, since they have a little bit of range, right? You can place a barrel bomb L not into the monster's head, but a little bit before it, and then the barrel bomb S even further away, so the barrel bomb S doesn't hit the monster, but only the barrel bomb. Right?
Right.
You get that?
Yeah.
That's really annoying to do.
Sounds like it.
I still do it. If I don't have anything better, that's what I do, right? Quite a lot, actually, still. But what people usually do is use their strongest hit on their weapon to wake the monster and also trigger the barrel bomb. Then you do get hit, but you get a massive DPS in like half a second, right? Because your initial hit gets doubled and you get the extra damage from the barrel bombs that don't get doubled, but still
Gotcha.
deal a lot of damage.
Okay.
And you can place 2 barrel bombs at a time, so you have like 300 damage from the barrel bombs and then whatever your hit is. And there's a lot of damage. And let's say you have 4 people, there's 2 barrel bombs per person, and then 4 people hitting it at the same time, one of them gets double damage too. That's pretty good. There's a lot of damage, right? So you want to abuse monster sleeping. Now you gotta know which of your hits is your strongest hit. And with the longsword, that's usually your spirit blade.
Okay.
Which should be pretty intuitive.
So like, would Sakura Slash not be good to use for that? Like, would the first
No.
hit count, or?
The first hit of Sakura Slash is like 3 damage.
Okay. Yeah. So that would count as the hit.
Yeah,
Okay.
it wakes
so
it up
yeah.
and then it goes
So-
see the
so that-
aftermath
that
hits
wouldn't
that
be a
actually
good
deal the
thing.
damage, but they're too late.
Okay.
Yeah, so Sakura Slash is pretty bad. I actually still use it in Rise, because in Rise it increases your spirit gauge by 1 level. So you still get an advantage from hitting it.
Right.
It's still not optimal, but fuck it, right? So with Longsword, it's kind of whatever. Like your hits aren't great, so you kind of want to play around actually getting the barrel bomb detonation in its face, and then timing your attack so you hit it right after that, and you can still attack it, right? You should add PvP. What do you mean? Like monster PvP doesn't make any sense. Like, imagine your greatsword does like 500 damage. A hunter is 150 HP. How's this gonna?
Maybe you could fight each other as monsters.
No thanks. I've seen how fighting quote unquote as a monster works at Rise is dog shit.
Yeah.
I hate it. But yeah. So barrel bombs is essentially for waking up, right? Because otherwise you're gonna waste them. If you place a barrel bomb mid-combat, it's gonna run around it, it's gonna run past it, you're not gonna hit it, you're gonna
Right.
waste it. It's not gonna hit it, it's not gonna happen.
Uh-huh.
Like, I try that sometimes and I still fail it. So it's not easy. Because you have no control over the monster, right?
Right.
So like, imagine you're like very sure you're gonna hit it. You like stab the barrel bomb to get like an instant explosion, and right in that second it just jumps back and watches
Yeah.
you blow yourself up. It sucks. Don't do that. So yeah, use them when the monster's asleep. Place the bombs and explode them in whatever way you can. Just try playing around with that range a little bit. You get used to it.
So I mean,
Um,
is there really much of a point to using the small ones then?
Yeah, for detonating them.
Yeah.
So you don't hit yourself. But aside from that, there's no point. The small
Okay.
barrel bombs don't do shit aside from activate the big ones.
Yeah.
The damage is marginal, it doesn't do anything. Now, let's say you were playing Greatsword instead. Then throw everything you said out of the window, place your barrel bombs right inside of the monster's head, and then perform a charge attack on those barrel bombs. Because your first hit is still the hit that gets doubled, and then the barrel bombs deal the good damage. And you
Yeah.
get hit, but that's totally fine, because it's massive damage. You could time it, technically, if you have like several people, you could time it with an explosion that gets set off right after you hit it, so you don't get hit, and you get your first hit out. But you're alone. So, yeah. Plus, it's a little too complicated. Just get used to at least using them, because they're very, very good.
Okay.
In fact, there are speedrunners that do like the story mode of a game, and they do that by just abusing barrel bombs, because the flat damage is an insanely high amount for the early game, right? I personally don't use barrel bombs until the later stages of the game because I feel like I'm wasting them, which is kind of stupid because it's essentially they deal less and less damage the further you are in the game
Yeah.
because it's flat damage, right? So percentage-wise, they deal less and less damage, but it's still always good. Yeah. You can carry 3 barrel bomb Ls and 2 megas. So there's a total of 5 bombs you can carry. You can place 2 at a time. That's why I always bring 3 barrel bomb S, so I can activate all of them. First 2, the second 2, and then the last one. and then I have a free slot, so I can carry stuff. That's what I do anyway. Don't have to worry about that too much. Let's talk about traps. Traps feel fairly straightforward, right? There's two types of traps. There's a pitfall, there's a shock trap. That has been the case since the beginning of Monster Hunter, and it is still the case. Now, essentially, you can trap every monster. There are exceptions to this. Some monsters just can't be trapped. You learn that by trial and error, essentially. And Elder Dragons cannot get trapped ever. There's not a single Elder Dragon that you can trap.
Okay.
They just kind of walk over it. Nothing happens. It doesn't matter what size they are, what shape. It doesn't matter. It's just they're immune. Because it's supposed to be harder, right? Traps
They're
make it
too
easier.
Smart.
Now, traps make it easier in several senses. Because you can carry one trap each, right? But you can craft more, technically. So you can have several traps in the quest. Monsters do build resistance to traps. So let's say you place the first traps and the monster's in it for 8 seconds. Next trap is going to be 6. Then 5. Then 4. And I think that's how... I think that's the minimum. Minimum might be 2. I'm not sure. It doesn't really matter. The
Yeah.
point is they get more resistant to traps. The more you use them, right?
Kind of like
So
mounting.
Yeah. Or like anything, really.
Yeah.
Unless you're like in really old Monster Hunter games, there's always resistance to whatever you do. Except for like pure damage. There's no resistance to damage, no building resistance.
Hmm.
But like, let's say stun effects or flash bombs or all that, they build resistance to all of that. Poison, all that good shit. Status effects, all that. And traps too. So how would you use a trap?
How would I use a trap?
How would you use it? When would you use a trap? Like you have 2 of them. You can use 2 traps in a span of 50 minutes. When do you decide to use one?
When they start limping and stuff,
Why?
because that's the easiest way to do it, right? Because
To do
they're
what?
weakened. What?
To do what?
I mean, you can capture them, right?
You can capture them. Capture is a different thing from just trapping.
Okay.
So the goal of just getting the monster into the trap can be used for something else other than capturing. But you are right in the sense of that you want to, if you want to, have an easier time, right? You want to wait until the monster is weak and then capture it. Because it saves you like, it is 20% of the HP of a monster, right? So if a monster has 20% HP, you can capture it,
Yeah.
but the monster starts limping at 15%. So it's a little above the limping, but you never know
Okay.
when that is. So
Right.
just it doesn't matter.
That's how
Yeah,
you
so
know.
essentially you're saving around 15% that you would have to fight the monster by trapping it and capturing it. Right?
Mhm.
Pretty good deal. That's why people do it. And also you still get rewards from it. So you get like 3 extra rewards from capturing, so you don't lose the carving drops.
Okay.
But they're different reward pools, so sometimes people intentionally trap or don't trap to get different rewards, but it doesn't really matter for our case.
So, would it maybe be better to try to trap if you were trying to get like certain materials, or you're trying to like farm for
Yeah.
like for armor and stuff?
Yeah. Like if you
Okay.
know I get a higher chance for this material if I
Right.
trap it, then you always trap it.
Okay. Yeah, I know I've only
No,
done it
that's-
that one time when I had to for the quest.
Yeah. The quests where you have to are really, really fucking dog shit. I still use traps though, because I just don't capture them because it's against my rules, because it makes the game easier, and I feel like I only have really beat a monster if I like defeated it in
Right.
unarmed combat. Yeah, so essentially the other use for traps is just to get free damage in, right? And let's say you wanna optimize your free damage. When would you use the trap? At what stage? We haven't talked about monster stages, so maybe this doesn't even make sense to ask.
Yeah, I'm
But
not
give me an
sure.
idea. You got anything?
Like at what stage?
When would it make more sense?
To trap them?
Yeah, for the free damage. When would you most optimally want to use the free damage? Like, is it in the stage where the monster is like slow moving, or is it a stage where the monster is like really fast and aggressive?
I mean, maybe it would be better earlier on, because then you can get them down faster? I don't know.
Not really.
No.
So what you want to do is you want to wait till the monster is really aggressive,
Uh-huh.
because it can't do anything in its aggressiveness if it's stuck, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the rage timer, we will talk about this later, has a cooldown. So a monster gets enraged, then it rages for a while, then it is not enraged anymore. And it is always more dangerous while it's enraged. Let's just keep it at that for now, we'll get into the specifics later. And you can mitigate that by using traps. It only saves like 8 seconds, plus a few. But that's still time you can use to get free damage in. There's another reason to do this I will get into later. But yeah, essentially in those situations. And there's another thing. For me and my challenges is that I use them really close to the end when I'm fairly sure I can actually kill the monster.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to waste them, right? So, if I lose, I'm gonna lose my traps. That's why I use them at the end, so that I have a high chance of not losing my traps.
Yeah.
Because they're pretty hard to come by. Okay.
Yeah.
It can be hard to capture, to like trap a monster, because again, you have no influence on what the monster does.
Right.
You can hope it goes towards you, but it never really has to. And the way Monster Hunter goes, the monster's like constantly on your tail, like constantly sticking to your ass. Then you place a trap, and it jumps back, and sits at the other edge of the stage
Yeah.
for like 3 minutes, and then leaves. That is usually what happens. So it's sometimes really hard to get a capture. That's why well, in newer games it's not that bad, right? So I don't really pay attention to that much anymore. But in older games, specifically, what I do is I wait for an opportunity where a monster is not noticing me, so like a lost aggro, it's kind of just walking around and I can get close to it without being seen, and I just place the trap, and in the time that it takes to roar, it gets trapped. That kind of stuff. Or when the monster is like, it like fell over, I can place the trap inside of it and it gets trapped. All that kind of stuff, where you get a free trap, essentially. That stuff you can abuse. You can also just place the trap and let the monster walk inside of it and then hit it. That's the more obvious one, but that
Okay.
one can always go wrong, right? Because the monster could just decide to not walk into you.
Mm-hmm.
And then leave the area. They do that a lot. Yeah, so what you have here is a trap tool. Trap tool you can combine with, so you have spider web and ivy that you can combine to nets, and nets and trap tools make pitfall traps, and then you have thunderbugs that combine with trap tools to make shock traps. Pretty cool. You can farm them, obviously, but you would have to farm 2 of them, and that can get very tedious, especially when you want to farm other shit too. That's why traps are kind of so hard to come by in the older games. But there's other methods to get it too that I'm not sure about right now, so it doesn't really matter. Tranquilizer is used to make trank bombs, or tranquilizer ammo if you're ranged, to then capture the monster, right? You need 2 trank bombs to make a monster weak. You can do that before or after actually putting it into a trap. Doesn't matter. So the effect lasts for like a minute. So you can throw 2 trank bombs and then lure it into a trap, which is technically more efficient trapping, which is what some of the professional players do. I don't, because I think it's less safe. They argue it's safer. I argue that I'm losing my trank bombs if I don't get it trapped in that minute.
Right.
And I have like 8 seconds to put down 2 trank bombs. I'll be fine. That's my mindset. That's way easier for me, so I do it this way. But you can do whatever. Field Horn literally has no effect, as far as I know. Okay, attracts monsters. It doesn't really do anything.
Certain monsters.
Yeah, only certain monsters. What it means is big monsters,
Okay.
which is really weird. Also, traps only work on big monsters. This might seem obvious, but back in the day when I started playing as a child, I was trying to like trap herbivores and it didn't work. It's really sad.
So like I'm just wondering, like, is it supposed to be like to get them to come to your area, or is it like to come towards you?
Yeah.
Maybe.
It's supposed to lure them into your area. It doesn't really
Okay.
work.
Because I was gonna say,
but
I was like,
the main purpose is not using it like this. The main purpose is to combine it to a horn that increases your stats.
Okay.
That's a little better. Still, nobody uses it.
Yeah.
There's like maybe like 5 people in the Monster Hunter community that use horns.
I was gonna
If you're playing
say,
like super support, because it
Yeah.
affects the entire party, you can use them. I still don't like using them even then.
yeah.
But some people like using them. It's perfectly
I
fine.
was wondering. I was like, if you could use the horn to get it to come towards you, and you have a trap set up, but I don't think that's how that works.
I don't think so either, but I don't know. Because, you know, I never use them. But I don't
Right.
think that's how it works. Okay, next page.
Binoculars.
Binoculars. Dog shit. Useless. Never use them. Barbecue
wanna
spit.
observe
Dog
them?
shit. Useless. Don't bring it. That's one important thing. You have no reason to carry a spit if you just have meat on you at all times, which you can do by just giving the cat meat to burn.
Right.
Right? You learned that the cat can burn meat to you for you.
I do now.
Yeah. So you have no reason to carry a barbecue spit if you have meat already,
Yeah.
which you can farm. But you do still need to get raw meat. That's very important. The oils we talked about. The rest is just items.
Sleep herb.
Yeah. Raspberry, needleberry, all that shit is for range stuff. We don't need this. This is all just ammo.
Yeah.
Is there anything else here?
Book of
All this
combos.
power charm and armor charm, those are tools. Those increase your stats passively. Always good to have. Not a lot to talk about there though.
Yeah.
There is another version of those. You can combine them with another item to make a new version, and those stack. So you can have power charm, armor charm, power talent, and armor talent. Those stack.
Oh.
Pretty cool.
Hmm.
What's page 10?
Pack rack
Nothing.
guide.
Cool. Yeah. So what else is there we could talk about? There's flash pots. Flash bombs in this game, not pots. Pots there in World.
Oh, yeah.
Bombs there here. Flash bombs. Have you used those before? I think you have.
A few times, yeah.
Yeah. So flash bombs, especially in the older games, need to be like right in the monster's face,
Mhm.
which is hard to do. But they can be really good. For like normal monsters, you just kind of flash them, and then it's easier to hit them because they don't know where you are, so they're attacking in a random direction.
Mhm.
And like if you know the attacks, you can really easily play around that fact. Now, Jekka believes that monsters when they are flashed are scarier because he doesn't have control over them. So if you know a monster's gonna attack you, you have technically more control, right? Because you know where it's gonna attack. But also
Right.
you need to my argument is you need to dodge constantly. You need to evade, you need to react to the monster. And when it's flashed, you only need to react to what it's doing. You don't need to dodge like 90% of the time. You'd only need to be ready in case it attacks in your direction, but most of the time it won't, and you just get free hits it. But that's not the main point of flashbots. The main point of flashbots is to knock flying monsters out of the sky.
Okay. Yeah.
The most flying monsters, if you hit them while they're flying or jumping, also just regular monsters that jump, you can hit those too, but it's harder because you have to hit them mid-jump, right? But flying monsters is really easy. Let's say if you're fighting like a Rathian and it's like flying around, you just flash it, it drops down, and then it's like struggling to get up for a while. And then after it gets up, it is still flashed. So it's blind, it can't hit you. So it's really, really strong against flying monsters, especially those who fly a lot. There's a few that are immune, but you will learn that from trial and error. One example would be Kezu, because it doesn't have eyes.
Right.
Yeah. But there's a few more that are not as obvious. Yeah, Flashpot's really, really good against flying. Keep that in mind. We have null berries. Null berries are insanely good for removing blights. We've talked about this. Is there anything else I'm forgetting? What do I bring? I bring nothing aside from what we talked about. So that's pretty good. There's a lot more in like World and Rise we could talk about, but we're not in World and Rise, so we don't need to talk about it. We will eventually then.
Should I get some
Okay,
bombs?
cool. Sure, you can buy bombs if you want. You don't have like a shit ton of money, but
That's alright. 10? I probably don't need
yeah, you
that
can
many.
carry 10 of those, but you never need 10. The max you could ever need is 3 at a
Yeah.
time. Okay.
Okay.
The next thing on my list is monster tracking. Luckily, we're in a game where monster tracking isn't really a thing. You kind of just randomly find them or use the balloon. You know about the balloon, you know how to use it. And you know... Well, there's essentially three types of monsters. One of them they walk out of the area. There's no tracking needed. You just need to have the monster in your area when you fight, which we trained. You basically know how to do that. You're still struggling sometimes to turn the camera and do other things at the same time, but that you get used to eventually, right? That's one type. Then there's the type that buries and the type that flies. How do you deal with those? Flying and jumping is the same thing in this scenario.
I mean, you can paintball them.
Yeah, let's say you don't have one.
I mean, you can see what direction they go, right?
How?
By watching, I mean, if they're flying, you can watch the shadow or like what direction they move towards.
Yeah. So for flying monsters, you want to watch the shadow. That's entirely correct. That isn't always 100% accurate, but it gives you a general direction you need to go, and that minimizes the chance of you just running around aimlessly. What do you do when a creature buries?
I'm trying to think. I mean, does it not show like a thing going a certain direction when they do that?
It does. It leaves like a trail of dust.
Yeah.
Essentially. That you want to pay attention to.
Yeah.
It is a little harder to see, but it's doable. And I believe in you. You can do that.
Yeah.
Especially if you like see it burying and you're ready for it to move. Don't get too close because then it's harder to see. Stay a little bit further away, and you're able to perceive where it goes. For those two, obviously, those kind of monsters, if you know that they fly away or they bury away, you obviously want to paintball them to just not have to deal with that.
Right.
But you will have to deal with that because you will not always get the paintball.
Yeah, I mean, I've
gotten
run out,
used
things
to
that.
Yeah, that just happens. Like, no matter how good you are at the game, you will not look at the timer, you will have forgotten the timer, blah, things will happen. It will randomly exactly then decide to fly away when the paintball runs out. Like, you throw a paintball, that second it runs away. Shit happens. This happens all the time. So you need to be able to track the monster. And luckily, that is all that is there to talk about tracking monsters in this game.
Yeah.
You want to know how it is in Rise?
How is
You
it?
see them on the minimap constantly. At all time.
Oh.
It sucks.
Oh.
It really sucks. It is not fun. There's no tracking. It doesn't feel like hunting anymore. It feels like fighting.
So all
And
you
the
have to do
combat
is
is
just,
really
like,
good.
go right to
But
where
it's
they
literally monster fighter. It is not monster hunter.
Hmm.
You have like, there's no areas anymore on maps, so it's like one map. And the monster's constantly shown on the map.
Hmm.
All of them are. All three monsters are shown on the map at all times. With like an
So-
icon telling you which one is which.
Is it like that in World?
No.
So World is like this?
No.
No?
No. Not even remotely.
So,
World has enormous realistic maps that also have only pseudo areas, not really areas.
yeah.
But they are connected, obviously, right? And in that game, you have like monster tracks that you need to collect to find the monster. And it's really cool.
Yeah, at least that's better than just not having to do anything to know where
It is
they are.
insanely cool. And if you tracked a monster like a very long time, if you fought the monster plenty times, then you can actually see it on the map. Because you just know where the monster is.
Right.
Right? But it takes a long time to get to that point. It's like max level research for the monster. I think there's today even monsters on my main account that I don't have on max level research. I just couldn't kill them enough.
Huh.
But yeah, you get to a point that I have noticed in which you can actually literally see a track on the ground and know what it is. Like even if if you pick up a track and your level is high enough, you will know that there's a certain monster track. But you can still know that before you have that unlocked if you just remember what they look like. So they're all distinct.
Right.
And you can actually literally track a monster. And it is so cool. Anyway. We'll get into that when we get to World, but there's not a lot in here, sadly.
I'm excited for that.
Yeah. Now, monster stages. Isn't that cool? We wanted to talk about that earlier anyway.
Oh, yeah.
Now, states or stages, whatever you want to call them, there's no official word for it. So essentially, you have a monster, and you're fighting it. And then something happens, the monster behaves differently. That is a stage, a state, whatever you want to call it. What stages are there? Do you know of any of those?
Yeah, so there's the one where they run out of stamina, and then they're like
Exhaust,
tired
yeah.
and they have to. Is that usually okay? So yeah, so there's that one where they're out
That
of
was a stage,
stamina
yeah.
and they have to rest, and so they like kind of have an idle animation, right?
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
then there's where they're hungry, right? Or whatever, isn't there? Or is that the same thing? Like where they're drooling?
That what you just described is the hungry stage.
Okay.
Hungry is having no stamina.
Okay, so it's the same.
Yeah, they fix having no stamina by eating.
Right. Okay. And then there's the enraged.
Yeah.
Is there another one?
Not really.
Yeah.
Kind of, but not really. We'll talk about that. But most importantly, rage and exhaust, right?
Yeah.
How does the monster behavior change in rage and exhaust? You've summed it up pretty well. Exhaust, it gets slower, it has these idle animations, right? You can punish those a lot. So what do you how do you want to behave differently when the monster is in exhaust?
I mean, you can be more aggressive. I've done that a lot when, you
Yeah.
you can tell, and they can't use certain abilities sometimes, like if they have like a breath or something.
That is entirely true. Like fireballs, breaths, all
Yeah.
that kind of shit. They kind of
they'll
like do the
it,
animation,
but it
nothing
just
happens.
doesn't do it. Yeah.
Very punishable. And if you
Yeah.
know that is a thing on that monster, you can when you see the animation, you can punish it so well. It's really,
Uh-huh.
really, really strong. What do you not want to do in those situations?
Like, I don't know, like waste your time that you could be, you know, doing something. I mean, you can use it to
Yeah.
heal if you have to, too.
Yeah, I mean, if you have to heal, you have to heal. That sucks. If you have to heal in an exhaust animation, that kind of sucks because you could heal
Right.
at any point. Honestly, at this point, when I'm playing Monster Hunter and a monster is exhausted, I don't think I heal because I'm fairly confident I'm not gonna get hit.
Right.
I'm not saying you should do that. I'm just saying that's what I do.
I mean, like, priority would be to attack, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Essentially, that is it. You don't want to waste time with anything else.
Mhm.
So there's a point in sharpening still, because sharpening increases your damage. We'll talk about that. There's not a point in like placing traps, for example. So why would you place a trap if the monster is exhausted? You're
Right.
wasting DPS. You can place a trap when the monster is aggressive,
Yeah.
right? Because the monster's not constantly hitting you, so you can take a moment of whatever. I'm missing a word, but that's fine. So whenever you notice you can do something, like the situations in which you decide to heal, you know, those down times where the monster's not hitting you, you're automatically learning to recognize those anyway because you have to. This is kind of a trial and
Yeah.
error thing. And you can do the same thing for traps. Traps take longer, so you need to look for better opportunities. But it's the same principle.
Mhm.
It takes like 5 seconds to set a trap or something. It takes a while. Yeah, but you don't need to waste 5 seconds of the exhaust stage on that. That is a waste. Don't do that. Just hit the monster. Hit the monster good.
Right.
Yeah. Important thing to know. So let's talk about the rage and exhaust phenomenon a little bit more. Rage works like this. There's a rage bar, a rage meter, and that fills if you attack the monster. So after a while, the monster enrages if you hit it enough. And after it raged for a while, the bar goes further down, and once it reaches 0, it is exhausted. Oh, sorry, it's not exhausted. It's not exhausted. Most importantly, not exhausted. It is just no longer enraged. So it can switch between rage and enraged. Sorry, that's not the correct term. Between enraged and not enraged.
Okay.
And independent from that is the stamina bar. So there's monster stamina. That's actually skills for your armor and weapon that increases stamina drain. So you drain more stamina when hitting the monster. And if you drain enough stamina to 0 precisely, that is the exhaust animation. That usually happens roughly after 2 enrages. Roughly. Depends heavily on the monster here and there, but roughly after 2 rages, it usually goes into its first exhaust. And again, that is independent from rage. More or less independent. There's still interactions, but more or less it's independent, right? So you can have it rage twice, and then exhaust it, and if you're unlucky, it enrages immediately out of the exhaust.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say, 'cause that it can
That
do
can
that,
happen.
right?
Yeah, and the rage overrides the exhaust. If a monster enrages, it gets 100 stamina immediately. You want to avoid that, but at the same time, you enrage a monster by attacking it. So there's no real avoiding it.
Right.
It's got kind of hope, right? You don't have that much influence on the monster. It's a little different in Worlds. There's different things you can do to manipulate it, but here not as much. And yeah, I think we'll leave it at that for Rage and Exhaust for now. There's a lot of in-depth shit that you could learn that isn't that important. But yeah, another thing that I have noted as a state is Stagger.
Okay.
And Stagger is just you essentially knock the monster over. As a stage, quote unquote. It's not really a stage, but it's a phase in which you can deal damage, right?
Well, isn't there sometimes too, I notice, like, if you hit them, sometimes they can be, like, knocked back, or they kind of, you know...
Yeah, that's Stagger.
Okay.
That's what I mean. I don't mean like when you're riding them. I mean specifically when you hit the monster and it falls over.
Yeah, I mean, besides that, though, I mean, I know it's not, like, anything that's that long, but sometimes, like, if you hit them and they kind of, like... I don't even
that's
know.
a flinch.
Yeah, like a flinch, yeah.
Yeah. So the terminology does not really matter here. There's like a definitive terminology for these things. Well, yeah, I call that a flinch. So if you hit the monster and it recoils back and then like maybe roars and then attacks again, that kind of thing, there's a flinch. A stagger is when it literally like falls and you can just attack it for free. I don't think flinch should be considered a state because it's like 2 seconds.
Yeah.
But yeah, a flinch is essentially another bar that gets filled by attacking. So you attack the monster, it's gonna flinch eventually. And if you have enough attack, you can out-flinch a monster, so it just constantly flinches until it's dead. That is a thing. Like if you have D-rank equipment and fighting a low-rank monster, that happens a lot. But that's not normal, don't get used to that. Stagger is the same idea. You can just stagger monsters constantly as well if your damage is too high for the monster. But yeah, not a thing to pay too much attention to. What you want to pay attention to is the animation a monster does when it staggers. So you can recognize it and then go to the offensive and not like walk around for 2 seconds before you realize you can attack. Because I have seen you do exactly that. Where you look at a monster being like super exposed for like 2 or 3 seconds before you do something because you're unsure, because you haven't recognized it, right? You want to get into that headspace of recognizing what does the monster do. And not only for offensive things, you're already doing that. You're already doing that for attacks, right? You're recognizing what monster attack is happening and what do I do about that, right? You're studying the monster in the sense what can it do and how do I react to it. But you should also study what does it do defensively. Because there will be monsters that don't just stagger, but there will be monsters that fake stagger. Or that have 2 different animations and one of them can be punished, one cannot. That will happen, and you wanna learn those on the fly, essentially.
Yeah, one thing I was thinking of is I thought it was pretty cool because I was having fun playing Valor. When I was fighting the Royal Ludroth or whatever, it got to a certain point where I kind of like knew when it was going to be attacking, and so I was ready to pull it up as soon as it was going to, and so I just kind of played off of that. And then, like, you know, I would be able to dodge and I'd be able to go right to it because I knew, you know, like when I could react and everything.
That is the big advantage of Valor, because you can just abuse these things.
Right.
The big disadvantage is that you kind of have to for it to be viable, right? So if you're fighting a new monster and you don't know the monster yet, you kind of have to learn the monster to abuse Valor, because otherwise you're just gonna miss your Valor stances and you're gonna get hit. So you have to play really well and really know a monster, or like learn a monster on the fly, to abuse Valor. So it's a pretty skill-based, not hunter art. What are they called? Styles.
Style.
Pretty skill-based style. That's what I'm looking for. Yeah, pretty cool. But yeah, that's the correct way to play the game too. And I think every hunter's opinion. If you ever have done a solo hunt in Monster Hunter, like enough of them, I guess. If you
Yeah.
ever solo hunted Monster Hunter, you know that this is the way to go. You need to learn the monster.
Yeah.
And it's really fun to learn the monster. Today I had to learn a monster because I had to fight a monster that is really, really strong and fast. And has really hard moves, like sweeping wide range moves, right?
Yeah.
And I didn't like the monster when I first played the game, so I didn't fight the monster a lot. Right? So I don't know the monster very well. So I kinda just had to relearn the monster on the fly. That's the one I was talking about earlier when we talked. The
Yeah.
one that took like 8 attempts without armor. Because I just didn't know the moves too well, and I was playing longsword. I needed to counter everything and like
Right.
play around it. And that was really, really hard because I didn't know the monster and I had to learn it on the fly. Which I did do, but it did take a while. Like 8 attempts.
Yeah.
Well, it took 7, but on the 8th one I got it. Or it took 6, I guess. Doesn't really matter. The point is, that is the correct way to play. That's very good. Okay. Let's talk about sharpness. What does sharpness do?
Sharpness.
Yeah.
It makes sure that your weapon doesn't bounce.
That is correct. Well, it attempts to. It doesn't
Yeah.
always do that, right?
Yeah.
But like the higher sharpness you have, the less chances that you bounce.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's actually chance based. I think there's some monster parts in which you have 50% chance of bouncing, but usually it is either you bounce always or you don't bounce at all. And that depends on your sharpness. That is entirely correct, but that is not all that sharpness does. There's another thing that sharpness does that is not as obvious because nobody tells you and you can't see it, and that is damage.
Okay.
So the easy way to remember is the more sharpness you have, the more damage you deal. That is very simple,
Mm-hmm.
and that is only per stage. So like green has a fixed value, then white has a fixed value, blue has a fixed value. It doesn't fluctuate between like there's not different values for different shades of green. That doesn't exist. Right?
Mm-hmm.
For green, in this game it should be 5% increased damage as far as I know. So the multiplier is 1.05. It's not a lot. In that sense, green and yellow are kind of the same. Because yellow is ×1 modifier. So yellow is the normal, right?
Yeah.
That's why you never want to play on orange or below, because orange is 25% decreased damage and red is 50% decreased
I
damage.
mean,
You don't
even
want to
at
play red.
yellow, though, you start bouncing, don't you?
Yeah. Yellow, you bounce a lot. On like hard monster parts, you
Yeah.
absolutely bounce. On green, you still bounce on hard monster parts, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
But less. Like, it takes a higher threshold to bounce.
And there's a higher level, right? Because I know I don't think I've had one yet, but I've seen on some of them there's like a bar above the green.
Oh yeah, there's a lot above. Green
Okay.
is dog shit. You never want to play a weapon that has green.
Oh.
So you have you have blue above green and white above blue, and then you have purple.
Oh shit. I didn't even know that existed.
And I think that's it in this game.
Huh.
It goes beyond that in some games.
Oh.
But yeah, that's a
Okay.
lot. And you want to be on these the highest sharpness you can, because you deal the most damage. So like take like if you go from the 5% bonus from green to blue, you suddenly have a 20% bonus instead.
So
That's pretty good.
on
If you
like
go on white,
the
it's a 39% damage bonus.
yeah on the higher ones, like the higher level ones, can you hit through parts that you would normally bounce on, or does that not like,
Yes.
change? Yeah.
You can absolutely, yes.
Hmm.
There's still parts you will always bounce.
Right.
There's just some parts you will always bounce. You have fought Bareth, I think?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I
The
did.
one that charges.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that guy's head you will always bounce off.
Okay.
Always. It makes sense, right? It's like a big boulder.
Right. Yeah.
You always bounce off that. And there's some of those parts, but like everything else, you start just kind of piercing through. So that's really good. And yeah, that's why you want to keep your sharpness at the highest point, right? And if you go below green, you always want to sharpen immediately because of the
Yeah.
bouncing thing. But even if you're on green, you might want to sharpen if you have higher sharpness that you could get to, and then have like a few minutes of more damage. That is well worth it
Right.
for a whetstone, which you should have an abundance of anyway, because you can buy them. Cool. That's all about sharpness. Pretty
Yeah.
poggies. We have talked about blights, so we don't need to do that. We cannot talk about slinger because there's no slinger in this game. We have talked about mounting. It's pretty advanced, but we have. There's nothing to add to mounting either.
I learned how to do it like legit now too.
Yeah.
Like for sure.
Oh, there, I forgot to say something about the stages. Yeah, okay. So, in Enraged, specifically,
Mm-hmm.
the monster takes 10% more damage and deals 10% more damage.
Oh, okay.
So, in Enraged, that is another reason why traps are so good in Enraged, because the damage you deal in the trap is 10% increased.
Okay.
And the monster can't hit you in the trap. Or most of them can't, but some will.
Yeah.
And now, let's say mounting, for example. Mounting you can also do while the monster's enraged. So you could wait till the monster's enraged, then mount it, and then you could hit it while it's toppled, while it's still enraged. So you're still dealing the increased damage, right? And also it is all time that the monster is enraged that is not attacking you. So the enraged bar is gonna go down while it isn't attacking you, which is always a good thing. You don't wanna essentially fight it. You don't want it attacking you when it is enraged, because it's more scary when it's enraged, right? It deals more damage, it's faster, has more moves, that kind of stuff. So you can kind of abuse that if you want to, by just mounting whenever it's enraged.
Okay.
Attempting to. Takes a few hits in this game. It is way easier in World. In World is so abusable, it's crazy. You can literally mount a monster 3 times in like 5 minutes. It's insane.
Oh. Damn.
And that is without mounting damage increasing skills, which still exist.
Yeah.
Cool. Hunting styles. We actually covered all of those, which is
Yeah.
pretty damn boggies. Clutch Claw is not in this game, so we can't talk about that. Using your environment. Now that is a little easier in this game because there's not a lot of environment here. In World, there's a shit ton to talk about.
Right.
In World, there's so much to talk about that I have 1,000 hours in the game, and when I talked to Jacker, he could show me something about the environment that you can use that I didn't know.
Wow.
And that's pretty insane.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive.
It's pretty damn cool. There's so much shit. It's insanely cool. This game, Monster Hunter World is the best Monster Hunter period.
Right.
Just flat out. Be excited.
I am excited.
It'll take a while to get there.
Yeah.
But yeah. So using your environment. What things are there in the environment of this game that you could use?
Like ledges.
Mm-hmm.
And ledges.
That is not all.
I'm trying to think. There's I mean, you can get stuff to craft, right? Like to make.
Yes, but I meant like specifically in like combat. What can you use to your
Okay.
advantage mid combat? Ledges are an obvious one. The thing you'll use the most too. There's another thing that does the same thing as ledges. It's just a little more complicated to use.
Like where you could like climb on a wall.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
vines and walls and all
Yeah.
that shit. You can climb on those, and then you can
off.
jump off while you're still hanging on it. So you don't even have to climb all the way up. You have to kind of jump off the wall and then attack.
Yeah.
That's a thing you can do. It is the same thing though. It is still aerial attacks. You're still doing aerial attacks.
Mhm.
What else is there in the environment that you can use? Well, not really anything. There's not really anything you can use in this game,
Yeah.
which is kind of sad. Because in Rise there's like a good bit, and in World there's so much. Like if you want to just cover the things you can use in one specific map, we gotta sit here for a while.
Damn.
And that is one map, and that is massively different from any other map. It is really, really cool. There's so many interactions. Obvious ones and non-obvious ones. You have so much shit. You have nothing in this. You have ledges. You have things
Right.
you can climb up and
That's
jump
why I
down
was
from,
just
and
kind
that
of
is it.
like
And if you go further back in the game series, before Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate, there was literally nothing. Not a single thing you could interact with.
Damn. Well,
In a way, you could technically say you could use minor monsters around you. So like you could bait monsters into attacking the bigger monsters who deal damage, but that's not really viable.
Right.
They're like gonna harm you more than it. It's not really good. It works better in worlds because in worlds they attack a fallen monster. So if you topple a monster, the small monsters will come and start attacking it, and that's really cool. God, this game is so insanely good. Anyway, it is so detailed. You have no idea, bro. You have no idea. There's so much to talk about. Yeah. Let's talk about countering specific types of attacks. So there's some types of attacks that kind of just every monster has, right? Like a simple example would be like a charge attack. How do you counter a charge attack? You go to the side and let it charge past you.
Yeah.
Fairly simple, right? We're not talking about this. We're talking about something more specific. Well, mostly like attacks that have certain effects, right? So like attacks that flash you. How do you counter somebody like Gipseros trying to flash you?
You Superman dive.
That is correct. What else can you do?
You can just turn the other way, can't you?
Nope.
No, that doesn't work.
Nope.
I was
It
trying to
only
think.
works for monsters. Monsters can turn away from your flash bombs. You cannot turn away from their flash.
Okay.
This sadly does not work.
I mean, you can roll right at the right moment, right?
Yeah, you could. That is really hard. I have not done it personally,
Right.
but you could try. There's one more thing that is a lot easier that you can't do with longsword, but you can do with the other weapon you were learning.
You can block.
You can block it.
Okay.
You have to face the correct direction, which is fair. It makes sense.
Yeah.
But you can block it.
Hmm.
And it will have knockback on your shields.
That's interesting.
Everything is knockback on your shield. This is dumb. But it is what it is. That's flash. Pretty cool, you know, to counter flash. You can also hide behind something. That does work.
Right.
So if there's like a big pillar or something, you can go behind it. That works. What about tremor? Like minor quakes. When a monster like stomps or something. I don't know if you had to deal with that yet, but that is a thing.
Yeah. I mean, you can not be right next to them.
Yeah, that is true. You can
mean-
take distance. No, that is a fair point. Like when I see a monster doing like a quake animation
Yeah.
and I know it's gonna stagger me, I'll just walk back if I know I have enough distance. Maybe do a roll just in case I get the iframe,
Yeah.
and then go back in. Right? That is a thing I do. So that's absolutely correct. What else can you do?
I don't know.
You can obviously counter everything. Like everything I'm talking about, you can counter. We don't need to talk about that. Everything that has a counter, like your Vela sheath, that can counter literally anything. So we don't need to
Okay.
talk about that. What else can you do for tremor? One thing that is not as obvious, you cannot be on the ground. So you could jump like off a ledge so you don't get tremored.
Right.
And get like an aerial attack. Like if you're above and it is below and it starts tremoring, you can jump off and then do an aerial for free. That kind of stuff. Yeah, that's pretty cool. There's one more thing you cannot do with the longsword, but you can do with the sword and shield.
Block.
Yeah, you can block it.
You just
You
block
can
everything,
the
right?
tremor. You can block the ground tremor.
Oh my god.
It's completely stupid, but you can.
That's kind of OP.
It is. That's why the sword and shield is so good. Not because it's
Right.
like a super strong shield, but you can use it against anything.
Just block
Nearly
everything.
anything. Yeah, you can't block everything. That's the thing. You can counter everything. You cannot block everything.
Yeah.
So there's a couple of moves that are specifically designed not to be blockable. Those you can still counter. It is weird. And if your block has a counter, it still counts. Like, let's say in Rise there's a move that makes your sword and shield counter, right? So you block something and then you do a counter attack, and that works in moves that are not blockable. I think. I'm fairly sure I used it against
Yeah.
those. It's really weird. But either way, there's not a lot of counters in here. It's mostly like Valor style that can counter, and then there's Lance. Lance has a counter. God, Lance is so cool too. But yeah, what about wind pressure? How do you counter wind pressure?
Wind pressure, like when trying to think of an example, like when a flying monster like pushes you back or whatever, like
Yeah,
flaps you
like
back.
wind that pushes you back, essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah, that can true combo sometimes. By the way, you want to be wary of that. How do you counter it?
You block it with sword and shield.
You absolutely can, yeah.
That's the answer.
But
to
if you don't
everything.
have a shield, what do you do?
You
You can also Superman dive everything, of course. We don't have to talk about that in more
Okay.
detail.
yeah.
You cannot roll a wind pressure. Well, you
Mhm.
can. You absolutely can. But it depends on the hitbox of the wind pressure. And most wind boxes have a hitbox that just lasts longer than your dodge. So, like,
Okay.
if you, let's say the wind box has like 20 frames, your dodge has 8 frames. Let's say you dodge it perfectly. After your 8 frames of invincibility run out, there's still 12 frames of windbox. So you're still getting windboxed. It doesn't
Okay.
matter. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what do you do about wind? Well, not a lot.
Yeah.
Wind usually doesn't have a big hitbox, so you can kind of just roll away from it. But there's not a lot you can do, because it's just kind of hit, right? So what can you do against regular hit? Not a lot. Windbox is the same kind of thing, just it doesn't do damage. Really annoying. There is skills to prevent tremor or wind or flash. One thing you can't counter with skills is area of effect moves. What do you do against that? Like, let's say you're fighting a monster, and it does like an animation where you know, like say Tyrex for example, it's gonna like spin and hit everything around it, and you're like right next to it attacking it. What do you do?
I mean, you can roll the other way, right? Maybe.
You cannot roll backwards. That is not a thing.
I mean, like, like, what kind of area effect? Is it like all the way around or just in front of it?
All the way around.
Oh. Well,
Like a big
block it
twirling
with
move.
the shield.
Let's say you don't have a shield and you don't have a counter, and you have your weapon out, you cannot Superman dive. You can, of course, iframe it. Good luck. Reaction-wise, there's just nothing you can really do.
Yeah.
Like, if you're right next to it, and it is doing that attack, your best thing you can do is try to time a dodge for the iframe, and also steer it away from the monster as far as possible to have the two possible survival options, which is out of range or iframe. One of them might save you, probably won't though. Like 90% of the time, 95% of the time, you're gonna get hit in that situation. Now what you can do is avoid that in the beginning. You just don't get in that situation. How do you do that? First of all, you get to know that the monster can do something like that, and you need to be afraid of that happening. You need to seriously be afraid, because if you're not, you're gonna get hit like 10 times in a row. It's not a joke, it will happen. Like Tyrex specifically, the one thing that he hits people most with is just that spin, because people aren't careful enough, they just keep
Right.
attacking, then he does that animation, and once you see it, you're already dead.
Omae wa moshinderu.
Sonotori da. Now, how do you avoid getting into that situation? You play on a greater distance, which you can do with the longsword. And if you like notice it is attacking you, you could do like your Fate Slash to go backwards. It's a unique thing that, well, actually more things can do that, but longsword can do it. You can do the Fate Slash to go backwards, but you still have. You just don't have the sidewards Fate Slash in your style. So you can do that, for example. You could do just play more passively and like kind of like react to what it's doing before you keep attacking, and then like when it does that, you could essentially just move away and then dodge to get out of range. And that is literally what it comes down to. It sounds very simple. It is not. That is something you need to learn. And you will. You will learn because you have to.
Yeah.
Otherwise you will lose. Because G-Rank T-Rex is gonna fucking annihilate you otherwise. Yeah, it's great. So that's AoEs. There's some other AoEs, like, let's say you're fighting a Terrastra, you don't know what that is, but let's say you're fighting one and it does like a giant fucking fireball nova that hits the entire area. What do? Well,
Die.
most of the time in those situations, they have like a really long wind-up, so you can kind of just put your weapon away and then Superman dive it.
Okay.
90% of the time you'll be fine. And like if you're used to the monster, you will just never get hit by those moves ever. They're not scary at all. Like these super scary ultra mega moves, these ultimate moves essentially, right, are super easy to counter because they're always like super telegraphed and slow. You have 10 minutes to react. And in your case, you could even just Wellish stance, Wellish sheath, and just get hit.
Right.
And that's fine too. Like, you'll be fine. It's really not hard to deal with if you know that it's coming, if you realize the animation. I usually just Superman dive them all. You can block some of them with shield. Sword and shield is broken. Or you can counter them, obviously, if you have a counter. Like if you have, you don't have critical juncture yet, do you? Oh, you might actually.
I think I do. I think I can get that.
So critical juncture is just a counter. You just stand there and wait for the monster to attack you, and then you do like a free counter.
Oh.
It is really, really powerful. I feel like it is even more powerful in the modern games, but it's still pretty good. And it feels good to hit.
I think
it sucks when you don't hit it.
I just think I wasn't sure what that was. I did see it, so I think I can get that.
It is a counter. Counters are pretty pog. Yeah, and it lasts like for, I don't know, like 5 seconds. You kind of just stand there, and if you get hit in that 5 seconds, you counter.
Okay.
Anything in like a 180-degree angle. Pretty good. But yeah, those things you could use too. Like, let's say there's like a big supernova, you could press your critical juncture and just counter it. That kind of stuff. You have those options. There's a lot of options you have. There's always, nah, not always. There's sometimes for some moments there's certain interactions that you could do. Like Teostra, for example, the guy with the supernova. You can flash him out of that, and then it cancels the supernova, and he falls out of the sky, and you can hit him. Right? That's one example. Those are specific though. We're talking about general stuff, and generally when a monster does like a big AoE, you essentially just want to get away and Superman dive if you can. Otherwise, if you like can't get away and can't get your weapon away in time and you get hit, you overextend it. Pretty simple. You are too aggressive. You can't do that if you know the monster has this ability. If it doesn't, then, you know, you don't have to be that careful. Okay. There's a thing in my list that is called better capture, which we talked about. Better in quotation marks, which is the thing where you trank the monster before you actually trap it.
Okay.
Which is, I don't think it's that applicable, but I have it here. And the last thing in my list is specific monster information. Now that doesn't come into play unless there's a specific monster that you're like struggling with that you want to learn. So until that point, we are done with my list.
Yeah.
Hoggies.
Hoggies.
Cool. Right. You want to do anything else?
I mean, we could just, I don't know. I could go do something and we can like, I don't know.
Sure, that sounds like a plan. If you want to like hunt something, that's fine by me.
Yeah.
I get live criticized.
Yeah.
At least you ate already.
Yeah, I did. What was there? What was I about to do? I was gonna... Who was it?
Did you do the last one?
No, I don't think so.
No, you didn't.
I was
Who
gonna...
was the last one? Oh, it's just this one.
Hermitar.
I mean, this is fine.
Alright.
You will know whether you have improved by comparing it to your previous performance, which was dog shit. Which is totally fine. You know, there's improvement. You will see big improvement. Like, this is the harder version. It deals more damage, it has more HP, and it is faster, and it has maybe different moves, who knows. And you're still gonna do better against that than you did when you first fought it in low rank. So that's pretty cool. Able to mob view. I can't talk. Let me open mod view, is what I was trying to say. Jesus Christ, Twitch is so fucking slow. Holy shit. It is a fast that it takes like 10 seconds to load the player. That is just not okay.
It's cold.
Ooh, that's a cool sound. Indeed, indeed.
And now it's hot. This place
It
needs
is.
to make up its mind.
So one thing you can do, if you want to optimize a little bit, is you can wait with the cool drink, right? Because it lasts a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
And you could wait with it and just let your health go down a little bit because it will naturally generate anyway. So you could go for like 2 of those little bars up there or something, or like 3 depending on how confident you are. Oh, look who's there.
What?
Top right.
What? What?
It's left.
What?
Where's the right
Oh.
side? There it is.
Oh.
Yep.
Hi.
You didn't see that?
I didn't.
Okay, cool. You don't need to stay in that menu.
Oh.
Okay, there we go. Because the time it shows on the map is very limited.
He's up
And
somewhere
if you stay
that
too long
I
in
don't
the
know where
menu,
to go anyway.
like it's gone already, right?
Yeah.
So if you stay too long in the menu, you'll just miss it. But
Yeah.
you go in the right direction. This is one of the maps I know because that has been in the game for eternities, and it has
Okay.
reoccurred in games too. So I've fought so many things. I've fought more monsters on this map than you have fought in total, and that's not even close.
Damn. So much desert.
Yeah, this should be your way home. Like if you go that way, you should go home. This is not where you want to. Oh, you might want to go there, but I don't
It's a
think there's
rock.
items. What did you get? A map. Map is pretty good.
The pioneers used to ride these babies for miles.
Oh, that is
Uh.
the wrong direction.
Oh.
Just barely.
Oh. Damn.
You just barely missed the right thing.
What? Barely missed the right thing. What way am I supposed to go?
Mm.
What the hell?
It's
What
the
the
same
hell?
thing again.
What
You
the
can also
hell?
go that direction. That's fine too.
Can I?
Yeah, you will not get to like the base, but that's fine. You don't need the map.
Oh. Alright.
We've talked about monster tracking. You can practice monster tracking without the map.
There's
Ooh,
a thing
look,
on the
drop.
ground.
Yes, always pick this up. Very important. That effect is no longer in the new games, and I have a mod that makes it so that effect is in the game again
Oh.
for World. It's pretty cool.
Huh.
In the new games, you kind of just have like
There he
a
is.
stone on the ground. There is indeed. Did you know those can have different shells?
Oh, really?
Well, the shell it has is a monoblow, so that's a monster you can actually fight.
He's fucking leaving again.
Yeah.
See, I could see where he went, though.
Oh,
Yeah. Probably.
this is not where he is,
Yeah.
because he cannot be here. But I can dig past
Probably
it.
down here. Hopefully.
This or to your right. Yeah, it's right here. Nice. Good, 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 good. Fuck him up. Now he doesn't have a true roar. It's like he does have a roar animation, obviously, but he doesn't like stagger you with your roars, right? And it's kind of important to learn when a monster doesn't do a proper roar, because then you can just
Oh,
keep hitting.
God. Oh, God.
You're fine. It's just a Hermitor. You'll be fine. This is punchable too, by the way. He's only immune to his front when he does that
Yeah.
guard animation thing. And you don't want to hit him on the front because you can do a counterattack, if I recall correctly. But that may be Rise exclusive. I don't actually know if that is true. We'll find out. Bonk. Good attempt. Going through the legs is a good attempt. You kind of just got stuck there.
Oh,
That I'm not sure what you were thinking.
damn. I don't know. I wasn't ready. Thanks.
At that thing just holding out its arms for like 5 seconds, you weren't ready.
Yeah.
No, I get it.
Well,
That is very punishable too. You can counter that too if you want to. Yeah. Ooh, that's all scary, but you got it.
oh, God.
You almost walked it. Nice. Very good. You want to do that more. You want to like hit and then react to a move, or like know that a move is coming, and not just sit there in Valor stance for like 30 seconds. Like that you don't want to do.
Well,
Of course, you gotta, guess correctly or just know better, but you want to get into the rhythm of that. Like that you don't want to do. This one was good. Because that was nearly perfect, right? So that's what you want to go for, ideally. And it feels the best too, doesn't it? That is...
I thought he was gonna do something, but he didn't.
That's fine. You just gotta notice those animations
What are
and,
you eating?
and remember what they look like, right? Yep. Punchable. Okay, go ahead. Nice. We take those. Actually, in Valor, you kind of sometimes don't take those. Oh, this guy is digging. What do? You ran around in the panic. Okay, that's fair.
Oh god.
It's
Oh
not
god.
even going.
I was like,
He's
I'm
going
gonna
for-
run out of stamina.
Get out. Heal now. Oh, too late. Your HP is very low. You might want to heal. Also, this is one of the few monsters that can just attack in any direction without turning.
Yeah.
Which is really cool because it's a crab, right? So it can, it can
Right.
literally just jump backwards and hit you. It can obviously do forwards attacks and obviously can do just claw swipes to the sides. It's pretty cool. You got hit. In case you didn't notice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
You could do one thing, and that is just announce what you think the monster is doing whenever you see it doing something.
Yeah.
Right? You could tell me what it's doing before or as it's doing it. So you learn the moveset essentially. I'm not doing anything. Just close, but good. Very good.
Yeah.
Could have just left there. So one thing in the situation when it's taken, you don't need to be sprinting constantly.
Yeah.
Like when it just came out of the ground, you know it's not gonna immediately come back up again. It has
Yeah.
to go back down, right?
Yeah,
So in that
that's
time, you don't need to waste your stamina, because otherwise
Right.
you could run out. But yeah, we should do the thing where you tell me what move it's doing.
Okay.
You know, you see the animation, tell me
Yeah,
what
the
it is.
bubble thing.
Yeah, good. Now this is a different version where he walks, right? This you
Right.
can't really tell until he does it, but still.
Yeah.
What were you trying to dodge there? I'm interested.
Oh.
Oh, that's the backwards attack I was talking about.
Oh god.
That too is a backwards attack. Now you're water blighted. What does water blight do?
Oh, I forgot he does that. I'm so used to
fine,
it
this is
just
second
being
episode.
straightforward.
I think he doesn't do that in low rank either. I think it's a high rank
Yeah,
thing.
he doesn't. It's just always straightforward. What the hell?
Yeah.
He's just attacking my cat.
What does water blight do?
It fucks with your stamina.
In what way?
Makes it drain faster, right?
Nope.
No?
That's ice blade.
Oh yeah, that is ice.
This one is recovery. You can recover. This is a recovery animation on his side. Now he's leaving the area, so you can do whatever you want.
Hmm.
Like paintball him. Okay. Your blight has run out.
Yay.
You are 1 down on stamina, so if you have something that increases it by exactly 1, this is the time to use it. If you don't, then
don't.
wait.
Yeah.
You don't want to waste a stake on like 1 stamina thing. That's not worth it. But yeah. What is it doing? Tell me.
He's chilling.
What is that? What is this? What is this? What is this?
By saying it, I'm just gonna stop thinking, and then I'm gonna start.
That
getting
was
hit
the
by
stag
things.
animation. You were supposed to attack that. But I think if you're saying saying it, it will actually help you. And you haven't really tried yet, so I would like you to try. I'll do your Sakura slash as well, if you want to use that at some point. unfortunate. This is not attacking you. How do you know it's not attacking you? Because it turned away from you.
Right.
So right there, it turned towards you with its back. So it's a little harder to tell, right? And this way too, it like turned still towards you, but with its side. So you gotta be able to separate those, which can be a little hard on this one. Like this one is clearly your direction, because there's nobody else there. Which direction is this? We don't know because it's
Down.
digging.
I didn't mean to do that.
Yeah, it's not focusing you, so you're fine. Stuart is kind of getting mauled.
Yeah. Poor
It's
Stuart.
coming back out. Oh, he grabbed Stuart. You might want to use your cold
no.
thing now. You can also attack, but
I'll just
you
attack
should think of your
He'll
cold
be
thing.
okay.
Yeah, it is okay. Like, you don't need to cool drink immediately. Just
Okay.
have it in the back of your mind that you need to cool drink. Eventually. Sooner than later. This is a backwards attack. That goes. You lost all your stamina. That's... Oh, it saved you! The small one saved you! Jesus Christ, it was poggies.
Oh, I need a drink.
You need to do a lot of things. You need to
I
do
do.
3 things, which is kind of... That is just your time to leave the area and just take care of yourself and then come back.
Yeah, that's true. Good point. He's coming.
One thing that I don't think is obvious, you cannot Superman dive if you're in that I'm low on stamina animation. So when it's like tumbling
Yeah.
around, you can't Superman dive. I don't
Okay.
think that's obvious. You're forgetting something.
Am I?
Yep.
I guess I can eat.
You should absolutely.
Yeah.
You're gonna run out of stamina, you're gonna get hit.
Fair.
And this was 2 slots, so it was worth it. Plus, the like meat burning thing is once per quest, so you can literally just farm them as long as you have rocket. Okay, what is he doing?
He's
Who is he turning towards? He's clearly not attacking you there.
right.
How do you know this? By the angle he turned. He
He's
turned
leaving.
right towards you. Exactly. This is something you can recognize too by just where the monster is turning, right? If the monster is turning a direction where there is not a cat and not you, it's probably leaving. And also when it's just casually walking in one direction, it's probably leaving too. This is the jump. Bonk. Punchable. Don't need to be that far away. It's the dig.
He's way over there.
Why is Stuart there?
I
Jesus
don't
Christ, what is he
know.
doing?
He's just exploring.
Who
I
is
guess.
he?
The fucking sand sharks.
Sniffaloes. Alright, there are ledges here now, because there's ledges in this game. Sideward swipe, always hits in front, gotta be ready for that. It's gonna hit you. Okay. That's the jump. Counter that if you want. Yep. Very good. That is fine, it's gonna save you. That's why I like Sakura Slash, because you travel so far forward that you
Yeah.
can dodge things with it. It's
Right.
really cool. And yet, on my main account on Rise, I don't use Sakura Slash anymore. Just because the other option is just literally a counter. It's just literally the Valor counter, like when you press R, just that you have it on a different button at all times. And you can even combo with it. That is so broken. I forgot to mention.
my God.
Where's my PC lagging? What the hell is happening?
Oh my goodness.
Try not to die.
Yeah, that's that was my next thought. I'd really rather not.
Yeah. think not dying is a pretty good priority to have at this position. What is he doing? He's clearly attacking you.
Yeah.
He hasn't decided what he wants to do yet, though. Okay, that was good. A little scary, but you got it. Yep, that's an attack. Gotta be ready for that. He can attack in any direction.
Right, yeah.
Right.
It's kind of hard to judge where he's gonna...
Yeah, that's why I say you always gotta be ready. You just gotta be ready to get hit, no matter where you are, no matter what it looks like it's doing. Unless you know exactly what it's doing, just expect it to hit you.
What was that?
That was the sand shark. It finned you.
Stop! Good. I don't think I even hit him. God. God. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, well.
Yeah, what can you do about this? What can you do about that? Tell me.
Not get grabbed.
No, if you grabbed already, what can you do?
I don't know. What do you mean?
What can you do if you're grabbed? I think that's pretty straightforward.
You struggle and get out? I don't know. What do you mean?
Yeah, but how? How do you struggle? Hit him. Recovery animation.
What?
He's eating. Hit him. Okay, so when you... Oh, that's a good one. Hit it. Beat him up. Okay, good. When you... I think it's pinned down officially. When you pin down, when there's this little bar, right? There's a bar for a reason. You can decrease that bar by mashing your left stick.
Ah, that wasn't facing the right way.
Correct. Unfortunately. Good thought, though. Very good thought. So yeah, you want to mash your left stick, essentially. Another thing you can do for some monsters is throw a dung bomb. If you have a dung bomb, against some monsters, when you pin down, you can throw it at them and they leave you alone. You can also save other people with that, but there's nobody that can do that for you. Forgot again. I fought a barrier earlier, and I got hit by the same move like 4 times in a row because I kept forgetting how it works. This shit happens. Support backwards attack. Yep. You can tell from the animations.
Yeah.
You obviously gotta get used to those, right? But this is what you want to do. You want to learn what the animation looks like. So this is the leaving animation again. That's why I said I want you to name the move it's doing. So you associate an animation with the move before he does the move. Right? I know you water bladed. You don't have an Nullberry, so there's not a lot you can do, and it ran out anyway. Right? What you could do is roll, but it doesn't do a lot.
Yeah. They're going right underground.
Good. Wasting time. There's something you can do about that. There's one monster that we did not talk about. The Sonic Bomb. The Sonic Bomb is used to knock things out of the ground.
Yeah.
So then this is like right after buried and you Sonic Bomb, it shoots. That was indeed. The side swipe. What is this? What is this? You ran into it. That I'm not sure what happened. You must have gotten hit by the hitbox from your back. That is very unfortunate if that is what happened. Nice. But you don't seem to recognize what it is yet.
When he blocks?
Yeah, like this you can attack. You don't want to attack at the front, but you want to attack. I'm not sure it can attack out of that block, but I don't know. I just attack anyway. There's a recovery animation, a really slow one. There's essentially a flinch for this one. It's the backwards one. Very good, you went out of the way. Not at full HP, and I'm asking myself why. Now you may as well attack. Get a Sakura Slash 2 if you want to combo out of that. Nice. I would have done it a little later, so that you can first get your attacks out, and then do the Sakura Slash as a finisher, you know? Because then your weapon is away too, and you're in a pretty safe position. Nice. Bonk. Bouncing because you're yellow and blue.
That's not what I wanted to do.
Yep. That happens if you try to run out of that shielding animation. That happens to me anyway. It's coming out. Might have been your time to heal. You get a lot more time to attack there. When it does that. Ready? We're not ready. This move just never hits anybody. But if it hits, it's pretty devastating.
That was the
That's
best.
attack. Nice. Well recognized. You're at less than half HP.
Yeah.
You should never be at low HP. Specifically for this monster, you kind of want to be like at an angle, right? You don't want to
Yeah.
be right to its right, left, back, or front, because then it can just attack. You want to make it so it has to turn before it attacks, so you get a little more time. This is a recovery animation, which means attack. Try to not aim for the claws, because you're bouncing off the claws. There's another thing that you can learn, is where you bounce and where you don't bounce. Although that you kind of have to learn anyway, because, you know, you're not gonna deal any damage if you bounce.
Oh no. Oh,
If you
no.
bounce, you deal less damage. And also you're obviously slower because you're bouncing. You get defense down at the moment, which you probably get from the Ultiroths, which means you just take more damage. There's a little thing around your body, the little yellow effect. And there's also a little shield next to your name on the left side.
Yeah.
That's defense now.
There he goes.
Cool, what do you do?
Sharpen.
Yep. Correct answer. Is that a balloon? Can you see that from here? That's weird.
Hmm?
Nothing. Killed the guy.
Kill.
Almost rolled
Okay.
into them.
Okay. He just goes all the way back. Like, alright.
Yeah. He essentially goes to where you were when he attacked. You just came in when he attacked. There's a weird thing which you can use, because when you know where you were, you know where he's gonna stop. So you can play around that. I do that sometimes.
Not going for me.
Weird. Let's see what is kind
Yeah.
of baiting you.
What the fuck?
You can also react to those. Because you see how like the ground shakes before it comes out?
Yeah.
Every time the ground shakes, you could essentially like start sprinting and you're fine, essentially. You can play around those things pretty well. Yeah, you can just attack that. Apparently he doesn't do anything after that. In like Rise, he holds it in front of him and then he like flicks forwards. Doesn't do that here apparently. There's one thing I really suck at, which kind of makes sense, which is remembering how monsters are in specific games. Like that the little flick he did there, he can do out of the guard in Rise. Now you don't want to die. How do you not die here? First of all, you recognize that he's not attacking you, he's attacking the cat.
Yeah.
Now he's attacking you. There's still a you attack, he might run here. He does. But you're out of range, so it doesn't matter. Also you're on potion, not on mega potion, I'm not sure why. Like if you're in a pinch where you have to potion quickly,
I'm
I
out
would
of
have a mega potion on my slot. That sucks.
Yeah.
You have no other healing? There's
mean-
other healing, by the way, in case it wasn't obvious.
He's so
There's other healing that
fast.
is way harder to get. So I'm not surprised that you don't have it. Just ask.
Backwards.
I was gonna say that's an unfortunate bounce, but that's a guaranteed bounce. If you hit its shell, you're gonna bounce. So just don't hit its shell. That was a good attack. Do that like once or twice more, and you're actually gonna get a mount.
Oh god. Oh god. Why is he so fast?
Why not?
Come here.
I like that you're playing around this area because you know that it has ledges. That is very good.
Oh my god.
You can actively bait him like off or on a ledge. That's a little harder to do, but it essentially like tries to go where you are, right? That's not a ledge attack. I guess that's fine. Nice, it's a very good combo. Time waste, Bog. That's a good
No,
You didn't recognize the move, you didn't recognize it. Unfortunate. Mash your left stick. Mash it, it's eating you. Mash it. Nice, you came out. Yay. Okay, now you bait it here again.
Oh my god, he's just
It is also currently... Oh, what's it doing? Beginning to believe. You see the animation in its face, right?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Means he's tired.
Yes, so attacking you then.
God damn it.
Oh.
Yep.
Well, you get cancelled out of this animation by your cat. Who's moaning in my background?
What?
Is it you?
What?
No, I have you stream YouTube. Who's moaning? Weird. Okay, whatever.
God.
Nice. Grip, good grip. Again. That's a little late, but it should be fine.
Got him.
Nice.
A weird position, but that's fine.
Yeah, that's a true trouble. This is what it looks like when it's actually fallen over.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna try and keep your camera a little more on him. A little more actively. You don't want to like have it run out of your screen and then turn after it. You want to move with it essentially.
Oh god.
That is
Be careful. Oh no. Oh no, no. I was afraid. Well, oh, he's leaving. Okay. Alright. I thought I was about to die.
yeah, I mean, understandable.
I don't know where he went. Did he go?
Yeah, he went left. You can't go left, so you take the next best.
Yeah. Oh, I'm running out of shit.
Forgetting something?
Yeah, I know.
Now, do you though?
No, I was about to, like, right before you said it.
You kept running forward, okay?
I know.
You still forgot something.
Oh, yeah. You're right. It's cold in here, though.
You don't really want to do it in here, because the longer you stay here, the more stamina you're gonna lose, so... Go forward.
I still have herbs.
Quickly. No, don't go left. Don't go left. You just lost one stamina. Oh,
Damn. One whole stamina. And it's
now you need a cool drink.
I'm having all kinds of problems, okay?
It's your last cool drink too.
It is. And still have herbs, so I'll be fine, you know? I can just be like... Nom, 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 nom.
I mean, you can
Delicious.
gather more healing items too, but... At some
Sounds
point
like
you want to
work.
just play well and just kill them.
You're like, at some point you just want to not suck. So
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
that way you
it's-
still have potions.
No, that way it doesn't matter what HP you're on. That is low-key a thing I do though. Like if I'm running out of options, like essentially that is what you do when you play no armor, right? Because you can't
Yeah.
get hit. So you just get good essentially. And that is a
Get
thing you
good
can absolutely
scrub.
tap into. Because you're not constantly playing at your peak, but if you're like really low and you've invested 30 minutes into the quest, you're automatically gonna get better. You're gonna play better because you don't wanna lose now. And you know you're gonna lose if you get hit once more. So you're gonna play better. And then you're still gonna hit, you're gonna lose, but you still play better. That's okay. That's a wind box, by the way, technically. Even though it doesn't look like there's any wind there, but that is a wind box.
Oh,
Ooh, look at that. Don't you like that animation?
okay. He's just running.
It's a very obvious sticking animation.
Gonna
It's
eat
not that
another
obvious in
herb.
Monster Hunter 3.
Delicious. Delicious plants.
Yeah. So the herb in German is called Kraut, and it was censored on Monster Hunter Online because that is also a slur. And it's really stupid because you like
What?
try to ask people for the item and then it was censored in
Oh,
chat.
he's sleeping.
It's really dumb.
I could do a
It's
bomb
sleeping.
thing, right?
What does that mean?
I can
Exactly.
bomb. I've never done it before.
Place a trail of bombs. Yeah, you just
Like,
place the
can I
bomb
place
where you
it
stand.
here? Is this close enough?
I'd go closer to its head.
It won't
So you
wake up
place
if
the
I
first
touch
one
it,
right.
will it?
No, just place the first one right inside of its head. Right inside. And you go a little further back and place the next one.
Another large one?
Yeah. And then
Okay.
you go even further back and place the small one.
Okay. Like.
Further. Don't want to hit it.
I just don't know the radius, so.
Yeah, just try it out. Just try it.
Here?
A little closer, you will probably have to go.
Oh, fuck. What the fuck?
I don't think that's a rage. You don't want to get hit by your own bomb. That kind of sucks. I'll just kind of stand
What
there,
woke
you know?
him up? The cat?
He kind of just wakes up on time.
Oh my
It
goodness.
took too long. But that is fine. You just want to try and get him into the bombs and bomb them anyway,
Yeah.
right now. Because that's your best damage you can do. Plus it's fairly safe. And you also just want to learn the distance of the small bombs. So you
Yeah.
just
I
don't
just
wanna
have no
try and-
idea, so.
Yeah, just try it out. Try it out. You're not luring him to the bomb. If you're just gonna be fighting him, then he's gonna leave and you're gonna lose your bombs. You need to lure him to the bombs.
Oh, he's
Stop
over
running
here
towards him.
fucking- Well, he's over here fucking around.
I don't care. You go to the fucking bombs and you wait there. And you have your small bombs ready.
Okay.
See, it worked immediately.
Have
Why-
my
where are your
small
small bombs?
bombs.
There they are. That could be good. Nice, you even staggered it. Very nice.
Oh.
See, bombs are good. Bombs are strong and powerful. They're pretty expensive. That's why I don't use them in like early game of monsters. Even though they're best there. Did you? What happened there? Did you try to level sense what the weapon was not?
Yeah.
Is that what happened?
To be honest, yeah.
But I'm surprised he didn't place a small barrel bomb.
What the hell?
Yeah, it is a shield mode, so it's you bounce on it. That is a move. What's it doing?
He's
Beginning
doing
to
something.
believe. What's your stamina?
Oh, alright. Okay.
Yeah. You can't do that if you're that low on stamina. But luckily
yeah,
he's not
I
doing
guess that's
anything,
true.
so... You can kind of just wait for the blade to disappear as well. No, there you can attack, obviously. Once you get some free hits in. Bang, bang. Brrp. Nice attack. Go in. Go for its head. Ah, you
Oh
want
my
this
god, stop! Well, rip.
So this is one reason why you sometimes want to start with your A instead of your X, because it's a shorter animation and you can valor stance out of it faster.
Yeah.
So your initial attacking animation, you could replace your X with your A for that specific purpose. It doesn't work with the draw attack. Draw attack is only on X, but the regular attack, starting with A is really good for that reason. It's faster. Makes sense?
Yeah.
This is situations where you press the button and you're like, oh, I'm gonna get hit now because I'm stuck at this animation for 2 seconds. That sucks. You don't want that. Running. Well, running is an overstatement.
Why are you running? Oh my goodness.
You had the right instinct and then you doubted yourself.
Well, because I didn't expect him to move. I should have.
I thought you expected. I thought you were standing there specifically because you expected him to move, and then you thought he wasn't gonna move and stop. I thought that's what happened. Either way.
I thought I was standing there and I thought he was gonna shoot it into me, and then he didn't, and then he moved.
Oh yeah, no, he wasn't.
Yeah.
But you can't tell from the angle that he wasn't gonna shoot you there. Which is another thing you get used to. This is different, by the way, in modern games. All these things I'm talking about, like angles and monster turning and shit, all that doesn't apply in the modern games. It only works in those games on these older engines. Because of the reason that the monster has to turn and can only attack one way. That is not the case in modern games. In modern games, the monster can attack wherever it fucking wants. Hurt moment.
Herb moment.
Yeah. Herb.
Herb. Herbs and spices.
No guy who says herb instead of
11
herb is
herbs
weird.
and spices. There he is. I have
You
one.
can do the thing again. But this time you gotta be more careful. You can't place the bomb that close.
Okay.
Because you have less range, right? So you place it like next to its claw or something.
Okay.
Yep, right there is good. And you go a little further back and place a small bomb. But hurry.
Oh my god.
Unfortunate. But you still get the range anyway.
Yeah.
That's good. I think in this case, I think the Vespoid stung it and woke it up. This is some annoying stuff that happens in the old games. It doesn't happen in the new games. In the new games, when the monster's sleeping and small ones hit it, they don't care. They don't wake up.
Okay.
And if you cats hit it, they don't wake up either. I've literally had Chacha, my guy in Pre-Ultimate,
Yeah.
wake a sleeping monster with a boomerang, and it's so obnoxious. It wasn't even like, he wasn't even like charging the animation of the boomerang
Yeah.
when it was falling asleep. It was already asleep for like full 5 seconds, or like 3, and then he decided to throw a boomerang. Literally griefing me. Stupid piece of shit. I hate him. God, he's so bad. Chacha and Kayamba are low-key just worse than cats, because they do the same thing, but they don't announce themselves, and it takes them literally 10 seconds to heal you.
Wow.
Like, if you get hit, it takes 10 seconds for them to heal you, because they start dancing for, like, literally 10 seconds. And the cat goes, do-do, do-do, and you're healed. It's so much faster.
Wow.
Nobody likes Chacha and Kayamba. Well, they do, but I don't understand why. Remember how far that move goes. Also remember you want to start your combos with your A now. Because it's faster and you can Vela stance out of it.
Oh, shit. Gotcha.
Yeah, recognizing that.
Didn't move first.
I'd so rather stand there and have nothing
Right.
happen
Yeah.
than get hit bad. Especially when I'm down to 6 reps. Ooh, that was a good animation. Did he broke his back or something? What exactly happened? He broke something anyway. It's not his back. For some reason I'm not synced to my Spotify and I don't understand why.
Oh my god, bro. Fuck.
I know that feeling.
That's a bad thing. No. Fuck. Son
Should
of
I
a
say
bitch.
something, or... I feel like you know why you died there.
Yeah, well.
And it was not just the straightforward roll on the projectile. It was not
10
just that.
minutes. Wait. Wait. Wait.
So issue number 1 is that you attack despite him turning, and when he turns, you essentially want to stop attacking because then he can attack you. So you wanna be done attacking when he turns.
Yeah.
And you attacked, and it bounced, and that's how you get the first hit. At the second hit, well, yeah, you dodged in a straight line away from a consistent projectile. I don't know what to say about that. That was just yeah. It was just a mistake. There's not a lot to say there.
He's in 9. So.
That's not great.
That's kind of. By the time I get there, he'll probably be gone.
Yeah.
So that's cool. I got a fucking sonic bomb though.
Oh. Well, I could have used those. I know why you're going to 6. I feel like that's not a good path to take here.
Oh. Yeah. I guess I didn't realize that, oh my god.
Why turn the camera if you can walk against the wall until you enter the exit? That's a nice sentence. Entering the exit.
Entering the exit, I mean, you know.
Well, enter your exit.
Bruh. Okay. Alright.
Gotta hurry, you're done in time. Come on. He's
He's
probably healing by now.
he's probably not even there anymore.
Oh, he's healing.
I gotta run across the entire fucking desert to get to him.
That feels fair. I mean, you could have not died.
I mean, I guess.
Oh, first aid meds, isn't that nice?
Yeah. Actual, not just herbs. Is he there? Is he there? He's just sleeping anyway. I don't have any more bombs though, so fucking...
What's your strongest hit here?
Just the normal, like, strong attack, right?
Probably.
Yeah.
It's technically stronger to go for the Spirit Slash, but it is harder to hit the Spirit Slash on the head. You would probably hit the claws and that's less damage. GG.
Spirit slashed him in the face.
Can even play my victory music, because I have it ready this time.
Wow.
On my soundboard. Might want to loot it.
I just wanted to Sakura slash him.
Yeah, I get it. You can actually stack your spirit gauge on a dead monster, that works. I think. I know it works in the modding games, I'm fairly sure it works in those too.
Black Pearl.
You can
That's
try.
like- That's like the name of Captain Jack Sparrow's ship, right?
Sure, try attacking him.
Try attacking it. I don't think I can even do anything.
Yeah, never mind, that doesn't work. Only works in modern games. In modern games you can hit corpses to stack your spirit gauge. I was so sure it worked in those ones too, but apparently not.
Yeah. Dancing cats.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's getting kind of
Wait.
late, huh?
Ready to teach tomorrow? Surely not. I do not. Hoggies.
Yay.
No earning money tomorrow.
Oh no. I mean, oh no. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
I feel like this is a good place to end it.
Yeah, I was gonna say that too.
Time to end it all.
To end what?
It all.
It all? I don't know about
It all.
that. I don't know about that.
Off trying myself.
Um. Wait. Okay. Anyway. Honk. Ugh. Okay. Well, it was fun. That was very informative and yeah.
And
Any,
yeah,
any final words before
make
you
sure
end
to
it
like,
all?
follow, and subscribe.
Yeah. To everybody, all the 2 people that are in this stream. Yeah.
No, not me.
Especially the guy with the sunglasses.
Who's that?
Or this guy. No, this
I don't have sunglasses. I have shades.
guy. Same. I mean, same difference.
It's the same but cooler.
Fair enough. Okay. All right. Cool. Well, thank you for your tutelage. I'll see you next time. Thanks for everyone that came to view.
Awesome. I will end
Alright.
stream now.
Yep.
It's the second stream today. Pretty pog.
Nice. Alright. Sounds good. Bye-bye.
Ah.